Self-doubt is one of the most common and quietly destructive forces in our lives. It sneaks in without warning, planting seeds of uncertainty in our minds and convincing us that we are not good enough, capable enough, or deserving of success and happiness. Many people experience these thoughts daily, often without even realizing it, allowing them to subtly shape decisions, actions, and even relationships. At its core, self-doubt is fueled by internalized fears, past failures, and societal pressures that tell us we must be perfect or risk rejection. These negative thoughts can manifest in many ways: procrastination, overthinking, avoiding opportunities, or constantly comparing ourselves to others. While it might feel like self-doubt is an inevitable part of life, the truth is that it is based on misconceptions, not reality. Understanding these misconceptions is the first step toward freeing ourselves from the limiting beliefs that hold us back. One of the most powerful ways to confront self-doubt is to recognize the lies it tells us. These lies are often subtle and disguised as truths, which makes them even more convincing. For example, your mind may whisper that failure defines your worth or that one mistake means you will never succeed. It may tell you that others are naturally more talented, smarter, or more deserving, leading you to feel inferior or unqualified. When left unchecked, these lies accumulate and create a mental environment where fear dominates, opportunities are missed, and your confidence erodes over time. Yet, it is important to remember that these are not facts. They are stories your mind has learned to believe. They can be challenged, reshaped, and ultimately replaced with empowering thoughts that support growth and self-assurance. Dr. Joseph Murphy, a pioneer in the field of mind and consciousness, dedicated his life to understanding how our beliefs shape our reality. He emphasized that the mind is not only a receiver of external circumstances, but also a powerful creator of our inner world. According to Murphy, self-doubt arises when our subconscious mind is influenced by fear, negative thinking, or limiting beliefs. By consciously identifying and correcting these false narratives, we can retrain our minds to embrace confidence, courage, and clarity. He encouraged practical techniques, such as affirmations, visualization, and reflective thinking, to replace self-defeating thoughts with positive, constructive beliefs. Over time, these practices allow individuals to break free from cycles of uncertainty, develop resilience, and step into their true potential. In this video, we will explore 5 of the most common lies that self-doubt tells, each one carefully explained and paired with actionable strategies to overcome it. By understanding the patterns of negative thinking, viewers will learn how to recognize when self-doubt is influencing their decisions and behaviors. This isn't just theory. It's about applying practical, real-world solutions that can be implemented immediately to build confidence and self-belief. The goal is not to eliminate all doubt, which is natural, but to prevent it from controlling your life. Instead, viewers will leave with a toolkit of insights inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy's teachings, enabling them to take charge of their thoughts, reclaim their power, and move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is to become aware of the specific ways it shows up in your life. Most people are so accustomed to the inner voice of doubt that they don't even realize it's there, quietly shaping choices and limiting potential. You may notice it when you hesitate to speak up in a meeting, avoid taking risks, or convince yourself that your ideas aren't valuable. It can appear as a constant internal critique, pointing out flaws, questioning abilities, and comparing your achievements, or lack thereof, to others. These moments may feel small or insignificant, but they compound over time, creating a mental barrier that keeps you from pursuing goals, embracing opportunities, or fully enjoying your accomplishments. Self-doubt thrives in the gaps between potential and action, where fear and hesitation take root. Understanding this pattern is essential because once you can identify when self-doubt is at work, you gain the power to respond differently rather than reacting automatically. Inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, one of the most influential thinkers in the field of mind and consciousness, we learn that self-doubt is not an inevitable part of life. It is a learned response. Murphy emphasized that our subconscious mind absorbs repeated messages, both positive and negative, and influences our behavior accordingly. When we repeatedly tell ourselves that we are unworthy, incapable, or bound to fail, our subconscious mind accepts these statements as truth, creating a self-fulfilling cycle. On the other hand, Murphy also taught that the mind can be trained to believe in success, confidence, and personal power. By intentionally introducing positive, affirming messages, we gradually reshape our mental habits and challenge the lies that self-doubt tells us. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, the subconscious mind begins to align with our conscious intentions, helping us think, act, and respond from a place of confidence rather than fear. Challenging self-doubt requires a combination of awareness, reflection, and actionable strategies. One effective approach is to confront each negative thought as it arises, examining it critically and asking whether it is truly based in reality or simply a product of fear. For example, if your mind tells you, "I'll never succeed at this," pause and consider evidence that proves otherwise. Reflect on past achievements, skills you've developed, and moments when you've overcome obstacles before. By actively questioning self-doubt in this way, you weaken its influence and create space for more constructive, empowering thoughts. Visualization is another technique Murphy recommended, where you imagine yourself succeeding, confidently handling challenges, and achieving goals. Over time, this mental rehearsal trains the mind to anticipate success rather than fear failure. Self-doubt often grows strongest when we compare ourselves to others, measuring our worth against external standards instead of recognizing our unique strengths. It is important to remember that everyone has their own journey, challenges, and timing. By focusing on your own growth and progress, rather than measuring yourself against someone else's accomplishments, you reclaim control over your thoughts and emotions. Dr. Joseph Murphy emphasized that confidence is built from within, and no external validation can replace the power of a mind trained to believe in its own potential. Through awareness, critical reflection, and consistent practice, viewers can begin to dismantle the false narratives that self-doubt perpetuates, ultimately replacing hesitation and fear with clarity, courage, and self-belief. Self-doubt often whispers subtle lies that feel convincing, but once we examine them closely, we can see how false they truly are. One of the most common lies is the belief that failure defines our worth. Many people assume that a single mistake or setback proves they are not capable or deserving of success. The truth, as Dr. Joseph Murphy taught, is that failure is not a measure of your value. It is simply a stepping stone to growth and learning. Every successful person has faced challenges, missteps, and disappointments along the way. The difference lies in how they respond. By shifting your perspective, you can view failures as opportunities to improve, gain insight, and build resilience, rather than as proof of inadequacy. Another lie self-doubt often tells is that you are alone in your struggles. You might believe that others have it all figured out, while you are the only one who struggles. In reality, every individual experiences doubt, fear, and uncertainty at some point. Recognizing this universality can help you feel less isolated and more connected to the shared human experience, reminding you that you are capable of growth and success just like anyone else. A third lie self-doubt uses is the idea that perfection is necessary before taking action. Your mind may convince you that you must know everything, be fully prepared, or meet impossible standards before you can start a project, speak up, or pursue a goal. Dr. Joseph Murphy emphasized that waiting for perfection only fuels inaction. Action, even if imperfect, trains your mind, develops skills, and builds confidence. Progress comes through doing, not waiting. Similarly, self-doubt often claims that external validation is required to feel worthy or capable. You may find yourself constantly seeking approval from others, thinking that their opinions define your value. Murphy taught that true confidence comes from within, through aligning your conscious and subconscious mind with positive, empowering beliefs. By internalizing your worth and trusting your abilities, you gradually release the need for constant reassurance, allowing you to act with independence and clarity. The fifth common lie is the belief that change is too difficult or impossible. Self-doubt can make you feel trapped in your current circumstances, convincing you that you lack the ability, resources, or intelligence to transform your life. In truth, every person has the capacity for growth and change, especially when the mind is consciously directed toward positive outcomes. Murphy's teachings emphasize the power of the subconscious mind to accept new beliefs and reshape behaviors over time. By consistently reinforcing affirmations, visualizing success, and taking small, deliberate steps, you create momentum that makes even significant changes achievable. These 5 lies: failure defines worth, you are alone, perfection is required, external validation is necessary, and change is impossible, are not truths but patterns your mind has learned to believe. Once you recognize them, you gain the ability to challenge each one with practical, empowering strategies that restore confidence and clarity. Ultimately, overcoming self-doubt is a process of awareness, understanding, and consistent practice. By identifying the lies your mind tells, reflecting on them critically, and applying techniques inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy, you can retrain your subconscious to support, rather than sabotage, your success. The more you challenge these false beliefs, the more you reclaim your personal power, develop resilience, and embrace life with courage and clarity. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is built through intentional thought, action, and belief in your own potential. By understanding and addressing the specific lies that self-doubt tells, you equip yourself with the tools to break free from fear, step into your true abilities, and create a life guided by self-assurance, purpose, and empowerment.